lazy lovers who refuse to work. I'd like you now to meet a woman. Hello, how are you? This is Deborah and her lover, Jamie. Am I right?
Yes.
So, you actually had an incident that just occurred to you in your life, Deborah, right? That makes Jamie's not working a real problem. And what is that?
I just had a baby 3 weeks ago.
Okay. Now, you had a baby 3 weeks ago. And how long have you guys been together?
For 2 years.
For 2 years. And has he helped at all in the house?
Very, very rarely. He has gotten, since we've been together, I believe 3 different jobs. One lasted for about 2.5 months, and the other 2 were a week apiece.
So what's going on in the house? How now you have the baby, it's 3 weeks old. How are you supporting?
I have support coming in for, I have 2 other children from a previous marriage, and I'm getting payments on them, and so I basically freelance myself out to do either, I do loan processing for home loans, and various amount of other things that I have to do to bring in the money.
Being with Jamie has actually affected your life a great deal. It's also affected your family life, is that right?
Oh yeah.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
Sure. I'm 34 years old, and for the last 34 years my parents have helped me financially. They hate him.
Do they? Why do they hate him?
Because he's a bum. Because he's a rebellious bum. He's a no good, good for nothing, go nowhere kind of man, as far as my father's concerned.
Is that... Do you think that's true, Jamie?
No. Since my son has been born, which has been 3 weeks now, I have enrolled into a school, going back to school, which is something that I refused to do as a teenager because it wasn't, I don't know, in the rock and roll curriculum.
Right.
And now that my son's born, I'm willing to go back to school and, I don't know, find something that I can do to make money to support him.
Yeah.
And her.
Deborah, you have a little smile there. Why?
Because after our son was born, he did take care of me. I had an emergency cesarean. He showed a side of Jamie that I'd never seen. Cooking, cleaning, taking care of the baby, and he's gone back to school.
Right.
And I'm real proud of him. I hope it lasts.
But you know, the thing is, school doesn't pay the bills.
That's right.
So is there any way for, I mean, why is it that you went to school and didn't get a job?
Well, school will lead to a better
job. Let Jamie say it. Why?
Okay.
I don't know. It really hasn't been important to me until my son was born.
All right, you know, I'm going to come back to this, but we have Taryn out there with Eric right now, and you've now built the house, so what's next?
One of the things that you have to learn to do out in the field is to light a fire, because it's your own, well, actually, Tom, tell him, why is this so important?
This is important because not only does it give you heat and light, but it cooks your food, it purifies your water, and it makes a lot of your other tools, so it's essential if you're ever going to survive over the long term.
Okay, so let's show Eric how to do it.
Okay, Eric, come on over here. All right.
And Gabrielle, a lot of the food that you find is also food that he has to trap and cook himself. Now, we are going to show that in a little bit.
All right.
Okay,
so
hold this in this hand.
As Eric goes through this whole cooking thing, this whole fire thing, Eric,
Like
is this...
so.
We're getting ready to start a fire now.
All right, you're getting ready to do it. Let's
How
see
does
how
it
long
feel
takes.
actually having to do something being
Bring it
ordered
in.
around?
Well, I'll tell you what. You know, this is pretty rough, and
Just like a
I
pool
really
Come on,
you know, this
crank it like
is a little different from a shoot and pull.
Yeah, a little bit different.
I think I'll get the technique down here in a second.
That's probably your pool
I'll have
shooting
this
hand
wood
anyway,
smoking.
so he's all
I'm
right.
gonna let go of your
I have to bring a fire extinguisher out here to put this mamma jam out.
While you're trying to do that, Eric, Deborah, do you think that Jamie can make it on his own without you?
Out there in the wilderness? Yeah.
In life?
Yeah, because he'll find somebody else to take care of him.
Is that what it's about, Jamie, having somebody else take care of you?
It could be if that's what it had to come down to, but I mean, I've done it before. I've supported myself. It's not really the lifestyle that anybody would choose, but it's a day-to-day living, I guess.
So does that embarrass you at all to think that the fact the only way you really think you can make a living or you're willing to make a living is off other people?
Yeah, at times it does. But when the other people are willing to give it up without asking, you know, if I don't have to ask for it, then I don't think it's that bad.
I feel that the men on stage today should be commended for being, like, you know, smart businessmen. I mean, they only taking advantage of the situation. So,
All right.
I wanted to say, too, also that I can't even see why you guys would even have babies with men like this. I mean, you know, it's bad enough that you're in this situation, and now you're you're adding more people to, you know, a nowhere situation.
No, I'm not gonna, hold it, I want to say something. I would not,
You know, we get 120,000.
Man to get a job when he hates to work. Well, my guests today are here for some answers. And Taryn, you're showing us some answers right out there with Eric, right? What's going on? He's done fire, he's made a shelter.
You know, we've done the fire, and now we're hoping actually everyone can learn something from this, because the next important thing is, of course, water. Now, he's out in the wilderness, and you haven't paid an electricity bill. I know you haven't paid a water bill either, am I right?
well, to be honest with you, I've paid a couple of them too. I mean, I'm not, totally.
Since you've been with Melissa?
Since I paid, no, I haven't paid one since I've been with Melissa.
And you've been with her for 2 years, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but what we're saying is, he's out in the wilderness. You can't really get any water. There's no fresh water here. What does he do to make sure, and why is it so important?
You got to sterilize the water, anything you get, by boiling it. So we're going to take this bowl that we burned out with some coals.
Okay, Eric's going to take it.
I'm going to take it. As you can see, I got the fire started. I got my cigarette here.
Good
so I'm going to show you how successful I am at boiling water.
Okay, what's he doing now? Why is this so
Collecting
key?
water out of the stream, but we can't trust it. It's got, giardia in it, anything in it, and we're going to bring it over here to the fire.
Don't put your cigarette out in it, Eric.
I'll try not to.
No, because he's going to have to drink and cook with this water soon, Gabrielle.
And then he's going to take that rock and drop it into the water, which will boil that water.
Okay, it's sterilized now, right? They say you have to boil water 15 minutes, and it just, okay. This is dinner, Gabrielle. We'll show you this a little bit later, but you got to cook it first.
Yeah, we got to make a stew out of it, so we'll just cook them up.
We'll send you some of it.
With the rock.
How does this compare to Melissa's cooking?
It probably would be better. This girl can't even boil water. I'm just a victim of circumstance here.
Yeah, well, you know what? Taryn, I know you're going to show us later. Maybe we'll have him eat it later, but I'd like to know what it is you're cooking.
Grubs. Grubs, wood grubs.
Wood grubs?
Grubs.
Protein. They're a little on the salty side, but they're not bad.
You mean worms and...
Well, grubs, they eat bark and stuff like that. Their insect protein is very high protein.
Okay, we're going to see you eat them a little bit later on.
Okay.
But, I'm going to come back here. Deborah, the truth is, you actually called this show.
Right.
Because you wanted to come on, and you wanted to say something to Jamie. So you want to do that?
Sure. It's nice of you to go back to school, and it's nice of you to have good intentions. But it's not paying the bills, and I need your help. And I have kicked you out several times, only to either go reel you back in because I can't stand seeing you live in your van, or off of somebody else. I want more than anything for it to work out, but I'm a dreamer, and a lot of my dreams seem to not come true. But I need your help financially. I need you to get a job, to do whatever it takes to bring in some money. I think I've shown you over and over again that I am there to stand by. But I can't be there anymore. It's taken away from my other kids.
But when you can... You try to control the situation that I'm in no matter what it is, whether I'm working or not working.
Oh, boy.
You think you can tell me to come and go as you please, whether I'm working or not working. So it makes it hard for me to want to bring in an income to some place that the next day I could be thrown out.
Well, wait a second. If I have no reason to inquire about where you are, what you're doing, how you're doing it, I mean, come on. You get a paycheck and you come home telling me that you got $100
I go to a friend's house to visit for 2 hours. He gets a phone call before I even get there. Tell him not to even come home. Why?
Well, that's when your priorities are in different places
to go visit
than mine.
a friend that I haven't seen in maybe 2 to 3 weeks. And then I'll come home 3 days later and she'll go, where have you been for 3 days? Well, I was told not to come home.
Oh, so Jamie, so you're blaming her basically for the fact that you have no job?
Well, not really. It's just when I do have a job, that's, she wants all the money when I walk in the door.
And I don't get any of it.
And you don't...
Very rarely.
So in fact, there's some problems right now going on. There's
Yeah,
big
if
money.
I ask for money, he will not give it to me. If I ask him to do something, to call his mom, like he said he was going to call his mom and ask her to help with his initial tuition, he gets real. His mom and I have had a discussion. He reverts to his 12-year-old wannabe. And it's like, I want to be 12 years old and play in life and have fun and let everybody else foot the bill. And whenever I try and remind him of something responsible, he cops an attitude and says, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to stand here and show you I'm not going to. And it's like, whoa, okay.
Dad, you're supporting him, though. I mean, you're not only financially, you're allowing him to be that 12-year-old child.
Because I'm a dreamer. That's stupidity. I understand.
What's going on here? Is there a similarity?
Yeah, I think so. They don't work because they know they don't have to. You know? And then,
there it is.
it's just, I don't know.
You say they don't work because they know they don't have to. Well, both of you guys need to start putting your foot down and telling them if they don't do this and do that, they hit the door.
Okay,
Eric, why don't you Eric wants to say something. What do you want to say, Eric?
Well, I mean, it ain't that we don't work because we know that we don't have to. I mean, it's that I got money coming in myself, and I mean, I'm not working. I got money coming in. Just because I'm a pool player.
Where's your money from?
My money comes from playing pool.
All right, well, I'm going to play Melissa right now.
Just like I had a job, you know.
Melissa said to us, he made $150 the other day, and that was after a long while. You spend more of her money. You borrow the money from her mother, and you spend the money. Is that right? You gamble with your mom's money and her money.
Oh, no. I gambled with her money.
And when mom gives
she got that money back. And ate. You know, we went out to eat, too. She got her money back, and you know, we went out to eat and had a good time and all that stuff, and I still had, you know, $100 in my pocket.
All right, we have some questions out here, Eric.
Okay.
This is for you. I absolutely mean no disrespect at all. But I don't understand that you're telling him, get a job, get a job. You're collecting money from your mom and dad.
Not anymore, I'm not.
I know. Oh, I understand that. I understand that. But I'm just saying that you guys were saying, oh, yeah, you know, for a long time they were paying the bills, the rent, this and that. So how is it that he can take you seriously and really, you know, okay, I'll get a job when you're getting money from your parents? And again, I don't mean any disrespect,
No,
but
I understand.
don't understand it. How do you expect him to take you seriously?
At 20 years old, I was working, and I was married for 13 years. Okay, when I had my children, I was working 2 jobs. When my husband and I split up 5 years ago, I started working 3 jobs because I owned a house and I was not willing to lose my house.
It has gotten so bad you're about to lose your home.
I am about to lose my home because I went into this apartment without any assistance from anybody else but how I could pull money in. Jamie came in July and promised that he'd come up with half the month's rent. Didn't ask for utility bills. I didn't ask for any food money. Basically, all I want him to do is support Jamie. Bring him home enough money to just pay your own way.
All right.
Your food, your utilities, and your housing. And I'll take care of my 3 kids. Are 1 out of the 3.
See, I make enough to pay the rent.
All right, you know what? We're going to come back in a few minutes. We're going to see how Eric's doing. We're going to talk to you guys and really see if it's enough. Okay? Thanks. Write us with your great show ideas. You know, my guests today are sick of supporting the men in their lives who won't work. Now, Taryn,
Gabrielle, I am with a guy who won't work, and we've heard it already. But, you know, remember the couple who was lost and had to survive in the cave, the soldier who was lost behind enemy lines? I mean, they have to survive out here by themselves. And this is where this guy may be, on the street. He'll be lucky if he'll be in the wilderness to survive, and he'll be lucky.
Grubs.
Exactly, and that's what he's looking for right now. And I'm also with Tom Brown. I wanted him to tell you, just so we can learn a little bit about what's the other stuff he could find out here.
Oh, around here, like the tree we're standing under here, we got oaks, we have sassafras, the roots make excellent tea, the big tree right there, the pine. It's not only edible, like with the pine nuts from the pine cones, but the leaves are edible and in a tea high in vitamin A and C. It's a medication. You can take the inner bark and cover a wound with it. The oaks here are all edible. You can steep the acorns and make a bread out of them. It's just
And
loaded.
what's he looking for here? Sorry,
He's going
Gabrielle.
after some grubs and stuff, and
for his stew.
just to yeah, to make stew, and that's going to augment everything else that we have that we're going to collect off the landscape. So it's going to be a kind of like meat and vegetable stew.
Eric, have you found anything?
I'm sorry, the luck's been terrible on this end.
You're not really trying.
Unfortunately, I hate to say it, but I don't think I'm going to find no grubs.
We hope you can find something there.
Well, we are looking, and Gabrielle, you know, maybe we should have him sample some of the stuff that he found earlier.
That's great.
Come on, let's get over to this. Let's get over to this.
Do you guys want to see him eat the stuff, you guys? And drink that water?
First of all, he can really eat this, right?
Oh, sure. I wouldn't eat it, but he...
I would love to, but I got to have my girl right here.
Well, you know,
I need her to eat one with me. I mean, that's only fair.
Why don't you eat it and
tell? I mean, I might be,
No,
you know, out here.
As long as she supports you, Eric, why don't you be fair and try it for us?
I will. I just need her to try
come
one.
on.
Come on. Grab you one. Grab you one. Which one you want?
Gabrielle, this is cool. There's no Eric.
Come on, just grab you one.
Eric, you go for it.
Come
you know what?
on.
My husband
I
helps
know your
support me, and I help
husband.
support
I know
him.
your
There's a big
husband.
difference here. We work.
You know what, Eric?
Yeah.
Eric, she's not going to...
Chew it up.
Go
It's
on,
delicious.
Eric.
Come on.
Oh, my Lord. I mean,
Eric,
come on.
this is the least thing you could
Come
do
on,
to
grab
show
you
Melissa
one,
that
too.
you are willing to work for her.
I'm willing to work, dig, you know, camp, all kinds of stuff. Come on now, give them good. No way. Come on, grab you one.
You know what? You don't want a job.
Here she goes. She's getting ready to put it in her mouth, guys.
Eric?
Here she goes.
Eric.
Gabrielle.
Eric, you're not listening.
Gabrielle. I'm listening to you.
You know what?
Man, I'm going to get sick. I don't eat bugs.
You won't get sick,
You know,
we
I
promise.
like steaks better than, you know.
Gabrielle, we'll work on him, okay?
All right. We have some questions here in the audience, Darren.
Okay, I have a question and I have a comment. This is for Jamie. Jamie, I'm not trying to disrespect you, but I have the question as, why did you wait until after she had the baby in order to think about doing something positive that would maybe later on, you know, maybe even get you a job later? But why did it take so long?
Because now, I mean, there's something there that I can, like, actually see. Instead of her telling me to come and go as she pleased, I have a reason to be there now.
He
Okay, my
wasn't there when
comment
he was
is,
in my stomach.
it was
He wasn't
there
seeable.
already. And a real man would have taken responsibility when he found out would have done it, what it took to get a job, even if it was for minimum wage for the time being, in order to help prepare for this child.
You know, Gabrielle, when I first got pregnant, Jamie said that whether we kept it or didn't keep it, no matter what the decision was, he was going to be behind me 100%. I didn't realize that it was going to be walking behind me and not supporting me.
Jamie, you have a baby. Todd, you have a baby on the way. You said that you would never let your child live in poverty, but money aside, how are you going to teach that child that a real man goes out and gets a job, any job, and takes care and provides for his kids and his women?
No answer? Just
am I supposed to answer that?
Well, I don't know. All right. Well, up next, will Eric, Todd, and Jamie leave their laziness behind? We'll hear their answer when we come back. Saying, and we want to go back to see what's going on with Taryn. We've got fire, we've got water, we've got shelter, Taryn. What else?
Gabrielle, this guy is learning to survive without Melissa's help. Now, the fire's going down a little bit, Tom.
Yeah, we got to collect wood. I got a trap set up over here.
First show him the trap, because they do have to trap small animals out here, right?
All right. Here is the
You guys watch
traps
this.
over here.
Show the trap.
See how he does
It's a
the trap.
figure 4 trap that's baited with a plant for a rabbit. Rabbit takes the bait, or even a squirrel, and of course this crushes itself, though we never take animals' lives unless there's an extreme need.
Show him how it's
so
triggered.
yes, just trigger it for us so we can see it.
So really, really quick like that. Don't you think this guy should be gathering some wood or something?
Wood. Pick it up.
Here we go.
Pick it up.
My fire's slowing down. I gotta
Get that mess of leaves right there.
Some leaves? Okay.
Pick it up.
Here we Oh, what the hell is that? What is that?
Yo.
Oh, what the?
You never know what you'll find in the wilderness. sleeping out here.
Maybe that guy would support Eric.
Well, I'll tell you what, I was like, man, what kind of woods was we in? And I was like, jeez, thought somebody was already dead or something. Didn't think I was...
That was just a little side shock trip. It's not part of the tracking school, Gabrielle, but it is true that this guy has to learn how to survive, and if he were out here, he'd have to survive in any situation.
Well, Taryn, we're going to come out here to the audience. People have questions, but I want everybody please to meet Jenna Feliciano. Hello, how are you? Jenna, your story is very compelling. You were actually married to Jose Feliciano, and then when you got divorced, problems started to occur. What happened?
Well, we were married 13 years. I got divorced. I was worth about $10 million. I owned recording studios, and I went bankrupt. I lived in a storage room of a building because I was homeless. I had no phone, nothing. A couple of friends would give me enough money to eat, and I'd go over their house and shower. Had no transportation, and I had never worked for anybody in my life except myself and Jose. And I had always worked for them. This was after I met Jose. And by the way, ladies, Jose didn't have a job when I met him either.
Are you saying that's okay? Are you saying to these ladies that's...
Depends on what you make of it and what you want out of life. So then I didn't have a job, so I went, and I didn't have any education, any training, but I could read and I could write. I became a person who read paralegal work for lawyers, and I would start to do case summations, and then I got to an employment agency looking for a job, and they hired me. And for the past 10 years or so, I have gotten jobs for people and showed them how to get jobs for themselves.
And you don't live in a shed anymore, thank you. That's very...
No, I live far
Congratulations.
from
I mean, it's
shed.
wonderful. You know what, though, Jenna? What do you want to say to these guys here? What do you want to say to these guys here?
Well, let's start with the ladies.
Okay, let's start with the ladies.
First of all, I've heard a lot of whining. I have a 10-month-old puppy who whines less, okay, to be honest with you. Now ladies, there's a basic truth here you've got to know. You're not a victim if you made a choice. You can't be sitting around saying, I'm being taken advantage of when you chose these guys. There's nothing wrong with that choice. You have to decide what you want. There are people, ladies and men, who need to be needed that way, or need to control economic strings to feel like they have some control on their lover or the person that they care for and the person that they're controlling. And they need to be needed. Now, if you're that kind of person, and it's what you want, and you got what you want, don't complain about it.
All right, so what do you want?
But if you want to change it, then you have to figure out whether you want these guys, and these guys have to decide whether they want to change to stay with you.
Well, Janet, what do you, so now that's...
Okay, well, wait a second. Now we've got, okay, I know Jamie. I don't know these other guys, but he always knows exactly what to say, when to say it, how to say it, to
We're
stroke
not talking
it good.
about him. We're talking about you.
I
What do you
know.
want?
When I tell him that this is what I need, this is what has got to be, he comes back and he either makes an action for it, he leads you to believe with all,
but you
everything
know
he
that.
says and everything he does, but he gets better every
This is
time.
not the first
it's like,
time,
and like
and
I
it's
said,
not
I
the
am a
last
dreamer.
time.
I want to believe that he can succeed. I have fought my family
You're not
over
being
this.
honest with yourself.
In a way,
You have to be honest with
That's
yourself.
true.
Same thing with the guys. It's okay if you're the kind of guy who would prefer to live off somebody and you can find somebody to live off if that's what makes you happy.
Actually, I'm kind of sick of it. I want.
What do you want? If you want to be who you are, be it. Or change it.
This is something we've been thinking about for a long time, and I'm ready to go back to work.
When
I'm going Monday to go look for a job. I don't care what it is.
You know what, we're going to be back in a few moments.